WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
What's your flavor? What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor?
All right, happy Monday. It is Flavor Fix with Samantha Starr on WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM, The Voice, bringing you the latest on Milwaukee's culinary scene. Again, I'm your host, Samantha Starr, founder of Samantha Starr Events, where I bring people together through my love of food, art, and culture. Shout out to our listeners who are tuned in on the radio, on YouTube, and on Facebook. 860 WNOV. As always, make sure you like, share, and comment because we want to hear from you. I have a very special guest with me here today. How you doing? Good.
Outside of all this snow, because we're supposed to stay in Chicago.
Right.
I am good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. So for our listeners who are tuned in, this is Jeremy Joyce, who's the founder of Black People Eats. And I had the pleasure of meeting Jeremy at the Top Chef premiere party that took place in Milwaukee in March. And if you don't know, season 21 was filmed in Wisconsin. Shout out to Chef Dan Jacobs of Dan, who was a contestant on this season.
It was
That's exciting, isn't it?
Experience. You know, that was my first time being at Top Chef. So it was a really beautiful experience. I really learned a lot. I met a lot of amazing people. You were there. I met Dr. Phillip. No.
Dr.
Sherman
Stacia.
Dr.
Stacia Thompson.
Yeah, you know,
shout out to
I was
Dr.
trying to get a bit better with names. Dr. Stacia. I met Miss Dr. Stacia. She was amazing, sweet. I met a lot of amazing people.
Yes.
That was also a good start. That started my Phoenix trip off right.
Yeah, it did.
The Top Chef was nice.
So if you aren't familiar with Jeremy, Black People Eats is dedicated to showcasing the best of the Black-owned companies, food and beverages from around the world. And how lucky are we to have him here in Milwaukee?
I'm excited.
So I want to learn a little about you. So tell me your background, where you from, your family, education. Give us a little bit of that.
So background. I grew up in the south suburbs of Chicago. Family, mom and dad. I got two brothers. But I always loved food. My mother always cooked. I learned how to cook my first dish at 8 or 9 years old. French toast. French toast. French toast is still my favorite to this day. Nothing beats French toast when it comes to breakfast ever. I can eat French toast any time of the day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't matter. I learned how to cook French toast, and my grandmother showed me how to cook eggs. I always just like eggs. But grandmother cooked. She from Mississippi. My mother cooked. My mother makes a lot of stuff from scratch. So I just always loved food.
Yeah.
And my background is in finance. Oh, that's what I went to school for, college.
Okay. Where'd you go to college?
Governor State University.
Okay.
And I was working in investments at a private bank called Northern Trust, like a bank for wealthy people, like $50,000 minimum for a checking account type stuff.
Right.
Like rich people.
Yeah.
And I remember one day there's a place in Chicago called Italy. Yep. Italy is like Mariano's. No, not Mariano's. It's like a Whole Foods on steroids.
Yep, I've been there.
Premium meats, premium product, like premium everything. They had a food festival and I called the Oktoberfest. It was in September. I'm closing my eyes because I'm picturing the thing in my head. It was year 2017. So what happened was I wanted this job. I wanted to do in this area called like portfolio management, where I would be managing Samantha's assets. Okay. So I would be responsible for managing your multi-million-dollar assets. So that's the job that I was trying to get.
Okay.
And I was going to get it through this program called the RDP, was Rotational Development Program. I tried to get it the first year in 2016. I made it to the top and they said, no, we just have to go another. I said, cool, I'll try next year. So I tried next year. It really bothered me because they told me the same exact thing. And I was like really upset. I'm like, how did I get it? And this guy across from me who I feel like I'm better than got it.
Yeah.
It bothered me.
Right.
Then after that, a girl that I was talking to, actually, we ended up stop talking.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. Breakup happened. And then I was like, you know what? I want to go to this event and record me eating. I never really seen nobody just a black man really eating food like that. There probably was, but I didn't see it. So I was there. I started filming me. I had on a suit jacket. I had on a button up. I had on like casual shoes, all that stuff. And I was filming and I was eating the food and the food was good. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start just like recording me eat. I went home that next day. I learned how to edit. I didn't go out. I just said, I'm not going nowhere. So I found the right app to edit this.
Right.
So I actually started doing voiceovers in 2016.
Wow.
But yeah, 2016, I was doing voiceovers before like it became this thing now.
Trend, yeah.
I actually started doing voiceovers. And then the next thing I know, I was like, I'm gonna just start doing food, faith, finance, fashion, all this stuff. And I noticed nobody would never repost my stuff. So I started looking at all these pages and they only really post black restaurants or black people around Black History Month. Outside of that, they didn't do it. And I was like, black people eat too. And that's how I got the name.
Yeah.
That's how I got started. And that's why I created it, to help amplify people, restaurants who don't have a voice, that's voices being muted because they don't live in a certain neighborhood.
Right.
If they lived in a neighborhood that was predominantly a different culture, they would get promoted.
Yeah.
So if my restaurant was in downtown Milwaukee, I'll get promoted. But let's just say if my restaurant is in a predominantly black neighborhood, I wouldn't get promoted unless it was something around Black History Month.
Right. Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
That's how Black People Eats got started.
Okay.
And I said, if this don't work, I'm gonna quit. I said, I'm gonna give me a year to do this, and if this doesn't work, I'm gonna quit. That's what I said. And I started the Black People Eats December 12, 2017, because I had to find my focus. Because before that, I was just doing everything. You know how we feel like we can do everything? Yep. And I learned from Miles Monroe, one of the men that I watch. He's passed now, but Miles Monroe, Dr. Miles Monroe, I was watching a video one time and he said a lot of people become jack of all trades and master of nothing. And I was trying to figure out doing flights, doing foods. And my mentor told me, you confusing people.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah.
I picked one, food, and I went with it. And ever since then, brands later.
Yeah.
Countries later. Like now I'm going out the country, getting paid to eat. Like it's crazy. I never thought.
That's dope.
I was just in Bahamas last week, a few days ago, filming for the Nassau Paradise Island Food and Wine Festival. So it's like a blessing. I'm here with Visit Milwaukee, the Milwaukee Tourism Board, highlighting restaurants in Milwaukee. So shout out to them for bringing me. Yeah. Because I'm able to help restaurants out free of charge for them because I'm able to partner with so many amazing companies like Visit Milwaukee.
Yeah, shout out to Visit Milwaukee. They put on a great event with Top Chef.
Man, it was nice. I want to go back.
This week.
I need Chicago to do one. Like, what's going on?
I know. So would you say that moment you had at Italy was like a defining moment for you, for this brand, for creating this brand?
That was the defining moment for me. That was the defining moment for me. And then after that, I met a girl. Her name is Rockford Eats. Now, for those of you who listening, I can't drive no longer than like an hour. An hour is my max. I do not like driving. I do not like driving far. I'm antsy. I like to get up. I like to move. I don't like being restricted. I don't know.
I don't like that.
It's something about being restricted at least on a plane, I get up.
Yeah.
Like I gotta. So I was online and I found a young lady. Her name was Rockford Eats. And I reached out to her. And I said, hey, I'm trying to learn how to become a foodie. Can you help me? Because I looked at her content and it looked good. She lived in Rockford. But something about it, like the Holy Spirit, something about it was right. Like I didn't feel wrong about it. I felt right about it. I drove all the way to Rockford. It's 2 hours from my house. On my way home, I ain't gonna lie, I pulled over and took like a nap. I was tired, but I drove all the way over there. She showed me how she took pictures, lighting. She showed me, like everything. She taught me how to get started. And I ended up blowing up with more influence of her. But the reason I value her is because she didn't have to teach me that. She took the time
Right.
to show me.
That's what I love.
Like,
when
this
I
is
hear
how you
stuff
get
like that.
started.
Yeah.
You know, and without her, I don't think that would be in me, because she showed me how to shoot content.
Mm-hmm.
She showed me.
Yeah. So how do you go about discovering and selecting Black-owned businesses
Mhm.
and beverage companies to feature on Black People Eats?
In the beginning, it was me just researching.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because it was hard to find Black restaurants 7 years ago.
Yes.
There was no anything on these websites. There wasn't companies that came out with lists. There wasn't
That's so true.
multicultural bloggers that were
Mhm.
coming out with Black restaurant lists. That wasn't a
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
So, like, if you looked on my website, I had a restaurant directory. So I was finding out the hard way, and I used to tell myself, this data is somewhere and it's not published.
Mhm.
So I started figuring out a way to get the data myself. So I would just research. I would find restaurants and stuff like that, and that's how I did it in the beginning. But as I grew and my influence grew, it became harder, because the time that I would take to research restaurants, I'm editing, I'm filming, I'm going to
That's a lot of
restaurants, I'm
work.
talking to people. So now people be reaching out to me. So it's actually a little
That's good.
easier
Yeah, I was
now.
about to say.
It's easier now, but back then it was a lot. But the only hard part is I can't get to everybody, and that's a hard part. Like, I can't get to everybody, so it gets difficult at times, you know.
Mhm.
But I'm really trying to streamline my business to where I can start going back to how I used to do it,
Mhm.
where I would be able to just go to restaurants randomly and just go and film, because that's what I used to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I schedule stuff,
Mhm.
because I'm a people's person. I want to get to know you. I want to talk to you. I want to
Absolutely.
understand the vision of your business.
I think
I want to
that's important.
understand the connectors of who you are as a person before I even eat the food, because it helps me as I feel and taste what I'm getting ready to eat, which helps me create what I'm getting ready to create for you.
Right.
I don't like just going in the restaurant and reviewing food. That's why I don't call myself a food reviewer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't call myself a food critic. I highlight Black restaurants and showcase them to people, and then let them pick. I don't like doing that, because I'm a relationship person.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for me to understand what I'm eating when I don't understand you.
That part.
Me.
The brand, the culture, the atmosphere, the story, all of that adds to the experience.
You know, because I might ask you, so how did you get that bun like this?
Mhm.
What did you do? How did you caramelize that like that? Like, where did you get that from? I'm going to ask that while I'm seeing it cook.
Yeah.
You know, I may not ask if I just take a bite. I'm going to take a bite and I'm thinking about the taste. But the story to me matters more.
Right.
Because the story helps me connect to the food.
Absolutely. So I know you recently married, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is your wife now? Does your wife travel with you a lot, or
Sometimes,
how does that look?
You know what? I be trying. It feels like my goal is to get my wife off her job so she can just be traveling with me all the time.
Amen.
That is what I'm working on. But sometimes she gets to travel with me. Sometimes she don't get to travel with me. She's a nurse.
Okay.
She does ICU.
Okay.
So, you know, my wife's really taking care of a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we pick. Like, she went with me to Jamaica. She ain't going to me in the Bahamas. She's mad about that. But she just had started a new job.
Okay.
You know, so she couldn't go. But she went with me to Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm getting ready to go to Houston. I'm not sure if she's going with me to go to Houston or not. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. But I love for her to travel with me. I feel like God put women on this earth. When you look at the Bible, wisdom is compared to her. You look at when God created Eve, he says, I will make you a helper. You got to also look at it like, what else is a helper? The Holy Spirit. So you got to look at all these qualifications of a woman and think when you get married, that's favor. So you look at all of those, you get all of that when you get married. So why wouldn't I want that with me when I'm out of town?
Absolutely.
Yes, I have the Holy Spirit. Yes, you know, I have discernment. Why wouldn't I want that extra favor, that extra help, that extra anointed help, right? My therapists tell us, like, a wife is an anointed help.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't I want that with me?
Right.
You know, I feel like women are so powerful and wise that when a man gets a wife, he's able to utilize that to help him so he can help the family.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I would definitely want my wife with me a lot.
Yeah.
Not because I don't got friends, because it's just something unique and divine about a woman, about a wife, you know?
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife. I love my wife. She's amazing. We just got married, so it's amazing. We actually planning a celebration now.
Okay.
So we legally got married, so it was just very
Low key.
family, parents, grandparents, siblings. That's it.
Yep. That's all you
Very.
need, really.
I mean, I'm looking at how much people spending on weddings, and this is crazy, right? I'm a finance major, right? My background's in management and finance. The average wedding in Illinois is $40,000. Well, the wedding planner told me that.
Yeah.
The average family doesn't have $1,000 emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
What's the number one reason people get divorced?
Money.
Finances.
Mm-hmm.
So check this out. Now the average a black household makes than a black man makes. There's already pressure going into a marriage, getting in debt for a wedding.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't afford it, you shouldn't buy it. I always tell people, if you can't afford it twice, you really can't afford it. And if you can't afford it, then why would you invest in it? It's a waste of money. We really do need to change that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm having a wedding because I'm getting a brand deal on my wedding. I probably wouldn't be wanting to have a wedding if I had to come out of my pocket. I told my wife straight up,
smart.
If I'm paying a wedding, I'm not spending no more than this.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I said, because why am I going to spend this money when you can invest it? When you can do it? I'd rather go travel for 3 months and create experiences.
Absolutely.
And memories and people and connections than spend for a big party. And I'm a person, I don't even like to party.
Yeah.
No, party not my thing.
Okay.
We here to talk about food though.
It's all right.
Not family.
We want to talk about family too. We want to learn all about you. So how did the partnership or conversation come about with Visit Milwaukee to bring you here for the Top Chef event?
You know what happened? This is 2024. We in March.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I was seeing the foodie. This is probably around March, April-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing this foodie, and every time I would look at this foodie, I would see visit this, explore this, destination this. And I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So one day I seen something that said visit. I clicked it. I said, yo, what is this place? Looked it up. I sell official tourism of blank. So let's say official tourism of, let's say it's official tourism of Jeremy Land. And I said, what is this?
Yeah.
Are they paying these people to come? I said, because I'm paying to go to cities myself. And I said, why am I paying to go to these cities? I got all this influence. I got all these followers. Why am I paying to go to these cities? I said, I'm going to start reaching out to these cities and see what happens. So I said, where do black people go? Looked at a list, an emerging city for black people, black professionals, black businesses. One of those cities was Charlotte.
Yeah.
Looked up, found the information. I sent them a DM. I said, good afternoon, Charlotte. And I said, I would love to come feature and highlight your black food scene and culture. Blank, 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 blank. They responded, hey, when are you thinking about coming? That went to an email. An email went to conversation. Conversation went to, hey, so this is late September. In 2 weeks, we're having a Bay Haven Food and Wine Festival. Shout out to Chef Greg. Him and his wife put on a Bay Haven Food and Wine Festival. They said, we would love for you to come and feature and highlight the festival and highlight Charlotte. I was like, cool. Just as long as they take care of my hotel and flight, I'm cool.
Yeah.
They said hotel flight plus the fee. I said, wait, people getting paid for this?
They are.
So then I said, hold up. Okay. So when I got that, I was obsessed. I said, ooh, I'm finna reach out to a whole bunch of other cities. Okay. Miami, New York, LA. I started just looking any city. I start looking up. And then I said, wait, why am I gonna settle for a city? These are in other countries. So
that part.
I looked up Jamaica, Barbados, 4 Caribbeans. Jamaica responded. Here goes our US partner. They responded, oh, I'm sorry, we're not really working with influencers now. So I went to Charlotte. Charlotte happened. Loved Charlotte. Loved the people. They set the standard. They were my first one. I love them. Shout out to Brittany and Cassie. They were amazing, right? Bay Haven was amazing. I met a lot of black chefs. That's when I started to taste the difference in black chefs who can cook and create dishes that's unique for experiences. I experienced that, a group of black chefs from all over the world, right? So this is like October something. 3 weeks later, I get an email from Visit Jamaica. Hey, can you come to the Jamaica Food and Drink Festival? It's in 2 weeks. We want you to come out here. We want you to highlight the festival. So then everybody got to find their niche. My niche was highlight the black food scene and culture and then highlight an event. So now I'm seeing a connection. Charlotte did it. Jamaica did it. So at the Jamaica, guess what I did?
What you do?
I Googled top Caribbean festivals. I found a list. Somebody published a list. One of the festivals on there was the Nassau Paradise Island Food and Wine Festival. Reached out to them in January. So October, Charlotte. November, Jamaica. December, had a deal with Grubhub. January, I reach out to the Bahamas, the group. They respond. End of January, early February, I get an answer. We want you to come. So now I'm finding the key. So I'm doing all that. And I say, you know what? I've never been in Milwaukee. I would love to come to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
So now this is January. Reached out. I said, hey, I would love to come feature your food and culture scene. You know, I've recently visited these cities and I would love to come. Visit Milwaukee. Loved it. We found some synergy. We found some unity. We found some shared values. And we was able to merge. And that's the reason why I'm here.
Nice.
So my tourism hunger is a result of me seeing another foodie.
Yeah.
I didn't know them like that, so I couldn't ask them like, hey, was this work? So I just started doing my own.
Yeah.
And because of that, that has grew a hunger to now I'm looking to partner with like pretty much every major tourism.
Yeah.
All of them.
As you should.
All of them. Because every city has a black restaurant. And if they have a black restaurant, I know tourism can help that.
All right. Well, we'll be right back on Flavor Fix, WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM, The Voice.
What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor?
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
What's your flavor? What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor?
All right. We are back on Flavor Fix with Mr. Jeremy, founder of Black People Eats. He's moving and grooving up in here.
What's your flavor?
Yeah.
That's all he's like.
Yeah, it makes you want to dance. It makes you want to dance.
I
for
like
sure.
that.
So we've been covering all things Jeremy, food and dining, how he got started with Black People Eats, where that initial passion came from, and what brought him to Milwaukee. Visit Milwaukee brought him to Milwaukee for the Top Chef premiere that took place here. So I want to take a deeper dive into your experience here. So this is your very first time to Milwaukee. What is your initial, I guess, thought on the Milwaukee dining scene, the Black dining scene that you've had to experience so far?
I'm enjoying Milwaukee. I'm seeing that it's definitely going to become a culinary. It's already becoming, based on a lot of the magazine articles you guys do.
It is.
And I'm seeing why. It really reminds me of home, first of all. Like, It's weird. I love you want to know. Did Milwaukee do it first or Chicago did? It really reminds me of home as far as like being downtown, driving. Like when I was on the expressway getting off, I was like, it reminds me if I was like getting off in the inner city of Chicago. Like it just reminded me of like going to a restaurant at home. What I really liked about the Milwaukee scene, I didn't realize that you guys manufacture a lot of stuff. Milk, cheese,
dairy. That's the dairy,
right?
city,
Like
the dairy,
state. Right? Because dairy, you think of chocolate. Like I think like when my mother loves Door County cherries, right?
Yep.
I didn't know that was in Wisconsin. Like because sometimes we don't, think about it.
Register,
because every state, what I'm learning as I travel, each state, it has unique food and it's regional and it's state, and you gotta embrace the uniqueness. I love the richness of the cheese, and I was at the Diplomat, and
shout out to Chef Dane.
Chef Dane, such an amazing man, pure heart. Love him. Him and his wife are amazing.
And Anna, shout out to Anna.
Shout out to Anna. Listen, I had a pretzel. I love pretzels.
Okay.
I know y'all got the beer cheese sauces. See, I'm learning about the culture. So I'm learning about the beef, but he gave pretzel bite and it had a cheese spread. It had a pimento cheese spread. The pretzel bite was so fresh.
Harvey, are you getting like, this emotion?
Like I just love the because it's different. At home, when you get cheese pretzel, it's typically like like a cheese cup.
Yeah.
Like typically nacho cheese in a can that's heated up, right? It'd be good, but still. But this was like a pretzel bite, but it was fresh, and you could just taste the pimento cheese spread, and the pimento cheese tastes different. It did not taste like the pimento cheese at the house, at home in Chicago. It was just so good.
That's great.
I love the diversity that they're bringing. I went I know I told you I went to Diplomat. Yeah. That was really good. The Diplomat burger that I had, everything from scratch. The banana pudding. It's his wife's dad recipe. That was fire. She made a mocktail that was really good. The waiter was nice. I really love the uniqueness, the vibe, the culture in there. I went to a tea spot today. Hold on.
Honeybee Sage.
I went to Honeybee Sage. That tea that I had in there, it was so good.
Shout out to Angela.
I don't know what the name of the tea was. I recorded it, said it so I wouldn't forget it. But it was purple. It was sweet, but it was good. And it had the honey, and so I'm loving it. I went to Slush last night. I met the owner. She was super sweet. She was super kind. It was very lively. It was very energetic. Leaving the Milwaukee Bucks game, which is electrifying. Y'all fans are wow.
Oh yeah, we
crazy.
Die-hard fans.
Die-hard. Like it was wild and insane in there. But I've really been enjoying like embracing and trying uniqueness food. I went to a 3rd Street Market today. And I tried a gentleman. What is his name? Is not Punch Bowl. I tried a gentleman today.
What kind of cuisine?
I'm pulling out my phone, y'all, because I don't want to mess it up. This man food, I had a jambalaya. It was banging. Oh, Yummy Bowl. Oh, jambalaya. Listen. I'm gonna show you the picture while I'm talking. He had a Yum Bowl. I really wanted to go for breakfast, right? It was so good. But he had this jambalaya. Oh my God, look at that. Sausage, shrimp, rice, fresh, tastes good. It was really good. So I really love the uniqueness. I love the people. I love the energy that they give. Not the energy. I love the authenticity that they give, the kind heart that they give.
I was going to ask you about the hospitality, what you thought.
Everybody that I've been meeting is kind-hearted. Like some of the restaurants I've been going to, none of them really knew I was coming. The only one that knew I was coming, I believe, was Slush.
Okay.
But that's also because I DM'd them.
Okay.
Because I'm a relationship person. So I want you to know.
Absolutely.
Because I was like, hey, I'm coming. I'm excited. Who should I ask for? But they were really sweet. I could tell it was genuine, though. It wasn't like fabricated. But every other place I've been to, when I went to Sherman, Phoenix, Baker's Dream, that's it right?
Baked Dreams Bakery and Cafe.
Baked Dreams, where every dream come true. Baby, Tamisha, she was amazing. She knows some of my family back home, like by nickname. So she know them, right?
See,
like
small world.
And it's crazy because she was genuinely nice to me. I don't like to say nice. She was kind to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was authentic.
Always.
And then she found out I was family. I felt the love in her food. HOV, the teas in Sherman, Phoenix, with the sea moss, the elderberry hot tea. I've been really enjoying the people.
I love that.
I've been enjoying the people.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Really liking the people. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, have you had any unexpected culinary surprises here that's really just shocked you?
The Diplomat.
Just the Diplomat, yeah.
No, not just the
not
Diplomat.
Just, but like, yeah.
But the one I can come up with off the top of my head is the Diplomat, because he has an elevated menu that's so unique and is different, right? One thing that I believe is we need to embrace diversity in our cuisine. Absolutely. And I don't think diversity is always celebrated, right? When we look at, like when I was in Charlotte, Chef Greg, he owns Leon Louise in Uptown Yoke.
Okay.
I was at Leon Louise and I had like fried chicken skins. Now, typically, I wouldn't try that in Chicago. So I'm not trying it. But because I was there, I was like, yo, this is unique. Let me try this.
Right.
It was good. Yep. I went to Jinya, a black-owned, I hope I said it right, a black-owned ramen spot. I've never had a ramen until 5 months ago.
Really?
Yes. Because
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, I just never, because in Chicago things is like segregated, and when I didn't grow up really around a diverse group of people, is particularly black, very few white, very few Latino. So I'm used to eating what we eat, which is typically, one thing that I had learned and that I am learning is so many dishes that we feel like are Black American dishes aren't really Black American dishes.
Yeah,
and we don't like to go outside of that realm, and when somebody does, we try to say that's not Black. So example, did you know collard greens is not a Black dish? Did you know that?
Yeah. Did
you know macaroni and cheese is not a Black dish?
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
No, fact. Macaroni and cheese, French fries, ice cream. James Hemings, his father, the slave master, which was, I believe, Thomas Jefferson. I can't remember which one, but I believe it was Thomas Jefferson. His slave master loved French cuisine, so he brought James Hemings to French to bring the food back here so he can cook it. Mac and cheese, French fries, ice cream. That's the reason we have that.
Yeah.
Pork. I was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We didn't eat pork. That was a German thing because it was Moravians that was in Winston-Salem. The reason we learned how to cook pork is because we cooked it for them because they wanted that in their dish. We didn't eat pork.
Right.
So when they was learning how to cook the bacon and the pork chops and collard greens, we adopted that.
Yeah.
And what I'm now learning, because I'm learning to be educated on food history. Soul food is not just fried chicken, mac and cheese, and yams. It's food made from the soul.
Right.
Barbecue. We had to come up with engineering techniques to barbecue whole pigs without having to go to school. We had to come up with techniques to how to preserve meat without going to school. That's from the soul. You can't just learn that. Nope. None of these people like oxtails. So you eat oxtails?
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. What animal do oxtails come from?
It is a cow.
Right. A lot of people don't know that. I just found out come from a cow. You know, the oxtails, in order to clean them, is vinegar. And I was learning from a lady named Miss Tony, a James Beard Award author. She was breaking down that in oxtails, you need to use vinegar to clean out the tail. But a lot of trained people don't know that because you're not trained that. We have to go through so many hazardous conditions.
That's interesting.
Food is
Yeah.
from the soul. That's what makes it soul food.
Yeah.
That's what makes it good. So I think we got to get to a point where we embrace diversity.
Mm-hmm.
We don't always have to sell soul food.
We don't.
We don't always have to sell fried catfish, fried chicken. As much as I love
Right.
yams and mac and chicken, we don't always have to sell it.
Right.
And I really had a lot of unique dishes here so far, but the ones that stand out to me is just the diplomat. Just it was different.
Definitely
It was very different.
You know, he's a James Beard.
Oh yeah, he's a James Beard.
James Beard
chef.
Man, that was amazing. I was at the Chef Awards when he won that year.
That's good.
And it was just a great feeling to see Milwaukee on that type of platform. It was like crazy when his name got called.
Yeah, it was amazing. The second dish I liked the most, that I think what's the place I just named? Pumble. Let me see. I think it was Punch Bowl, whatever place.
No, it wasn't Punch Bowl.
Yummy Bowl.
Yummy Bowl. Okay.
That jambalaya was smacking. No, like it was legit
when we done.
Good. Like I really wanted to eat all of that, but I couldn't. That dish was great. That dish was great. That dish was fire.
Yeah.
Fire. And then the steak sandwich that I had from Baked Dreams. Oh,
big steak, not the little one.
Big steak, not the little one. It got with the bread, with the cheese, with the peppers, with the onions. I'm telling you. And then you take a bite of the sandwich, the cheese oozes out your like. Like I still remember the sandwich.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't finished my trip. I got more.
Yeah.
Those are the places that like. So, but then I like the vibe of Slush. I was in there, I was like, this is sexy. I love the vibe in here. Swings on the counter. I don't drink. So I had a virgin drink. You know what I'm saying? I just like, it was sexy in there. You know, I don't do like the drinks, but it was really, I was like, man, I want to go to Slush during the daytime. Yeah. She told me they got brunch. I can only imagine the cities in the background. Yeah. You can see the skyline right over there by the river. Black owned woman. Like in the heart of the city. I know that's not easy.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. She's amazing.
Yeah. So while we're talking about Black owned restaurants, and this is abroad too, you know, who comes to mind when you think of a restaurant who connects Black culture to their overall restaurant theme, the atmosphere, the menu, all of that? Has anyone really stood out?
In Milwaukee?
Anywhere, Milwaukee or beyond, during your travels?
Beyond? Oh, you saying like in general?
In general, yeah, because I'm trying to get, you know, you travel a lot. So
that's hard.
Yeah. Well, we can tailor it to Milwaukee, but you're not done here yet.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna do nowhere that's not in Chicago because you said travel.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Leah and Louise in Charlotte.
Okay.
Chef Greg. I love the uniqueness. Sweet potatoes, Winston-Salem.
Okay. Sweet potatoes.
Oh, Fatback. Try Fatback for the first time.
Where's Fatback? Oh, the actual food. Oh,
try
yeah.
Fatback.
Yeah.
I had ribs with mumbo sauce, but the mumbo sauce was different. I had sweet potato pie. I don't like sweet potato pie.
Okay.
I tried it once. I did not like it. It wasn't nasty. I just don't. Just cook my sweet potatoes with juice. I don't want it in a pie. But that lady's sweet potato pie is different. Jesus, like that pie is good. And I would say, since we're only doing travel,
we can do whatever.
Nope, I'm doing travel. I'm only doing places. I would say Slim and Huskies.
Yes.
In Nashville.
That's the one
I
went
love it.
to.
I love it.
I got the-
Nashville technically is an underrated market. People
They
sleep
are.
on Nashville. Nashville food scene is popping.
It is.
Nashville food. But I would say Slim and Huskies because the way they do music, art, and culture
Mm-hmm.
and infuse it together. They just did a deal with Nike.
And the
you
beer.
know.
I'm a beer drinker.
Yeah, I don't drink beer, but they got the beer.
Yeah.
You know, they in the airport.
Yeah.
You know, but not even just Slim and Huskies. You got 400 Degrees hot chicken. Love them. You got Princess Hot Chicken. Love them. You got Hot Fire Cookie. Fire. You also got, what's the bakery? Why am I losing the name? Cupcake Collection. The sweet potato cupcake with the cream cheese.
You back to your sweet potato
Like,
now.
yo, I didn't realize how much I like sweet potatoes. Me and my friend, I'm gonna ask you a question. What's better, sweet potatoes or collard greens?
Sweet potato.
All
I don't
right.
like collard greens.
Yep. People get mad at me. Mac and yams are the best soul food sides. My friends tried to argue me that it's mac and greens. I said, bro, if the collard greens get on anything, it's soggy. It don't taste right.
Yeah.
I don't like collard greens. Just me though.
Thank you.
Oh no. I mix them. I can't eat mac without yams. I take the juice, pour it on the mac, and bite it. But that was just say when I say the black culture and the black experience.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna do Chicago. Because that's where
fine.
that's where most of my influence is. I don't want people be like, oh, you picked this restaurant over this. Nope. So I'm gonna let that go.
Yeah.
But I'm doing restaurants outside the city.
Yeah.
I really like what Chef Greg does in Charlotte.
Okay.
Really love his food. I really love what the owners are doing at Sweet Potatoes in Winston-Salem.
Mm-hmm.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I want to go back.
Yeah.
I wanna go back.
So beyond showcasing the businesses, how do you collaborate with them through events, partnerships, speaking engagements? What does that look like for you?
So I will say this. When I was like 21, I sat through a guy. His name is Wendell Mosby. I could be no. Wendell Martin. I sat through a guy named Wendell Martin. He's a pastor. He was a young guy. At the time, he was doing like a marketing event. And Darius Cooks was one of the speakers.
Okay.
And they talked about branding and they talked about all that stuff. So I reached out to the guy to set up a meeting with him. Wendell. And Wyndham, I can't remember the name. I got to look it up. But I reached out to him and I said, man, I want to teach pastors how to be leaders. I said, because I felt like pastors were great preachers, but they were poor leaders. I'm like 20, like 19 thinking about this. And he said, really? So why would they listen to you? And I said, well, I know all of the principles. I know about leadership. I know about this. I know about this. I know about this. He was like, but you've never built anything. And he said, if you want to train others, learn how to build first, then teach them.
I love that.
And at that point, then I went to corporate.
Yeah.
Then I started Black People Eats. And it's crazy because social media now, what bothers me about social media, you have people that's trying to train others on what they have not built.
Whew.
Like that bothers me.
Yes.
Like imagine me, right? I see cameras. I see a switcher. I know a little foundation. But you know what people do now? This is how you build a radio station. All you got to do is get a camera, a switcher, a computer, a keyboard, a call-in number, and nice lighting, and you can get this.
Right.
That's what people are doing now. But none of those people have never done it. Somehow, people have found more value in teaching people to build things that they've never built. So originally, I just wanted to teach pastors how to be leaders. So I felt like their leadership style was not good.
Right.
But my vision now, when it comes to the restaurants, is I'm starting to partner with companies. So I did Hewlett Packard, I did Discover, I did Ernst and Young.
Okay.
Yeah, Ernst and Young. I was able to speak to these companies, and I remember when I spoke, because I don't really promote speaking.
Yeah.
The lady at Hewlett Packard said, people are messaging me, who is this kid? And everything is so fresh. I know you do food, but you really need to consider doing speaking because like it's authentic, it's real. I'm not giving you nothing that I'm just seeing in a book. I'm telling you, this is how you do this through experience and through actually building some. See, I built my page with no paid ads. I built my page authentically. I posted every day, twice a day for 6 months. I post every day. 365 days. I've been doing this 7 years. I posted over 10,000 times. Wow. There is no way. I think I did the math the other day. 365 times 6. I think that's almost 20,000 posts, if not more.
It's
so
a lot.
If I've done at least, I'm gonna do it right now. The problem is people don't know how to become masters. People don't know what it means to be a master. People don't know what it means to be a master because we just want to learn how to do everything. We don't want to be known for doing one thing. A master is, can I do something consistently over a period of time, great, long enough to be known as a sensei? We want to be successful now, and that's the issue because we don't want nobody to serve. So I'll come in here and say, I want to build me a radio studio instead of learning a radio studio. I want to serve at a radio studio instead of trying to build my own show. Most people not willing to serve. See, I served my mentor 8 years before I built the business. I served my pastor years before I ever wanted to lead something. See, we don't know how to serve. This kid came to me when I was speaking at a college, and he was like, man, I really desire to be like you. I really want to tell him, okay, go serve somebody for 8 years. See, what's interesting, when you read the Bible, I saw this post the other day from a guy. He said millennials want to be successful at 25, and Jesus wasn't successful until he was 33. But we have this illusion that we need to be successful in our 20s. Right. It's this illusion. David got promised to be king as a teenager, but he didn't become a king right away. This illusion that we need to be successful young prevents the youth from serving. Right. And that's the reason why you have people prematurely doing stuff. And when you get successful too quick and you're immature, you break. Yeah. Why do you think you're seeing a lot of people break now? Why do you think you're seeing a lot of people lose it? And I don't want people to go through that. They lose it because you haven't served long enough to see the ins and outs. Right. So while we're on that topic, what advice would you give to aspiring food influencers who are looking to start their own lane in the competitive world of the food media and content creation? What's something that you would tell them now? I'm gonna record this answer. I'm gonna say this. This is what I would tell somebody that's looking to get into the food, just content creation space right now. Do it because you want to serve people. Don't do it because you want to become famous. I didn't create Black People East to become famous. I created Black People East to serve. I wanted to say, yo, Black restaurants are not getting highlighted. I want to help them. That's it. I didn't care about getting famous. I didn't care about being a celebrity. I didn't care about people knowing my name in the street. All I cared about was serving. And find your uniqueness. Stop trying to be like. I be looking at people content. I've seen people use the same face I use. I've seen people use the same actions, mannerisms. I've been doing this for 7 years. So like I've seen people use the same stuff. People don't have a uniqueness anymore because trends are allowing everybody to be the same. Yep. There's no uniqueness no more. There's no uniqueness anymore. People don't even know what it means to be themselves. If God created us in his image, right, in his likeness, that means all of us have uniqueness in our own identity through our DNA because our patterns are not the same. Our DNA is not the same. So what makes you think all our individuality has to be the same? Yeah. Like everybody's the same now. All the content is the same. It's weird. Nobody has their own lane. Yeah. And if somebody was coming to me today and say, Jeremy, what should I do? I would say, create your own lane. Yeah. If you can create your own lane, it will pay off in the end. Yeah. But see, uniqueness means growing slow. Right. It's easy to grow fast off trending sounds. It's hard to stay relevant, consistent in 5 years off trending sounds. Yeah. Because the problem with trends, when you chase trends, they end. a trend ends. You know, like starter jackets was in the 90s, right? Boom. Everybody know what a starter jacket is. You could get killed for wearing a starter jacket or a starter hat. Starter was popping, right? It stopped. Okay, early 2000s when the New Boys came out, starter jackets started coming in because me and my homies started thrift shopping. Then the New Boys came out, so all of our thrift stores, we started seeing a whole bunch of people at the thrift stores because snapbacks and fitteds came out. So now you're talking about like 20 years later, you start seeing this whole thing. Everything comes back.
Yep.
But guess what? The old heads who already had the starter jackets, the Bulls jackets, all of that stuff, it was valuable. Why? Because they kept something that was consistent. We don't know how to keep nothing consistent. If you get rid of something, it was trendy. Something that's timeless never gets rid of.
So true.
I just bought me like a leather jacket, and I was thinking like, yo, I can keep this jacket for like 40 years. I'm gonna always be able to wear this. Versus, I used to love Tommy Hilfiger. That was my favorite brand in college. I don't wear none of that no more. All the stuff with the logos, I don't wear none of that no more because at the time it was trendy.
Yeah. Yep.
We need to stop chasing trends, and we need to chase mastery. That's how you. That's how you become successful.
Yeah, I love that. Tips for travelers when they're dining, and how can they make the most of their culinary experiences while they're traveling?
You make the most out of your culinary experience by valuing the culture. Okay. Let's talk about cheese. The cheese here is more rich. It's produced here. It's going to be more rich. So imagine me coming here and I get some cheese fries and I get on my camera and I say these cheese fries are nasty. We need to learn nasty is not, there's no such thing as nasty as taste.
Right.
So I prefer more sweet cheese. So I'm coming to Milwaukee, my cheese is going to be richer. It might be a little more saltier. That doesn't make it nasty. That makes it a preference. So you got to learn taste, and taste changes based on region, then state, then local. So like when I was in Carolina, it had a lot of cheer wine. So I tried a sauce. I'm thinking the sauce is going to be sweeter. It wasn't as sweet as I wanted it to be. That doesn't make it nasty. That means it's not as sweet. It's too bitter, or it's sweet, salty, bitter, savory, umami. I always forget the last one.
Okay.
We need to get better at explaining tastes. So when I go somewhere, hey, so when I like sweet potato, what I liked about it, the texture of the crust was firm, but the sweet potato was soft.
Yeah.
We got to get better at explaining taste. Learn the taste of the neighborhood.
Learn the taste. All right, we'll be going on a quick break. We'll be back on Flavor Fix on WNOV 860 AM, The Voice. I love
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
Because everybody don't have that mindset.
What's your flavor? Tell me what's your flavor?
All right, we're back with Jeremy, who's jamming out right now.
I need a copy. Can you just send me the instrumental?
I'm gonna tell my cousin. Shout out to Mark Blends. They saw him.
Mark Blends
on the beat.
Can you give me the instrument? What a camera? Which one?
Whichever one. Right.
Mark Blends. I'm gonna
tell him too.
I need that instrumental, bro. That instrumental is nice. I want to use that.
It is.
Or put it on YouTube so I can just take it.
Right.
Download it.
I'm gonna tell him. I wonder did he ever upload it anywhere, but we're gonna find out. So I got one last question before we wrap up and find out how to stay in touch with you and find you in these travel streets.
Yes.
So do you spend a lot of time gone, but I have to ask, do you cook at home at all?
I'm gonna see. You think I can cook?
Yeah.
You think I should call my wife surprise and ask if I could?
Hey.
You wanna see? Let's see.
Oh, you did say you started.
See, he's listening.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this.
That don't mean you cook now, though.
I will say this. I know how to cook. I don't cook.
Okay.
My mom makes everything from scratch. And then once I got married, my wife cooked. I'm not cooking nothing. However, I do know how to cook. I have cooked, but I'm about to get back to cooking because I've been getting inspired just learning about farm to table lately. Just watching chefs. I was watching Top Chef and I was like, I'm falling in love back with just flavors and I want to get back to cooking.
Yeah.
So I was in an advanced food class when I was 15.
Okay.
I just want to get back. Oh, I'm going to tell you this. Guess where my first job was?
McDonald's.
Culver's.
Oh, I was close.
Cheese curds. That's how I knew I was at the cheese curds. I just like cheese curds.
Have you had any frozen custard here while you?
Yes, the
Where?
place wasn't black owned, so I'm not gonna say where it was.
Oh, okay. Did you like it?
I'll tell you this: it was at 3rd Street Market, and it was banging.
Yeah.
I'm low key gonna go back and get some chocolate. I asked everybody, "Is there a black owned place that make custard?" And they said no, so I couldn't find it, which actually makes me wonder why, right? But that custard was fire.
Yeah.
It was good.
So how can we stay connected? How can we find you? Where you at? I know you got a blog, all that good stuff.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. Thank you for saying yes. We were doing so much.
Hey, y'all, this girl is determined. She was making it happen. I'll tell y'all, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it just off the strength of her determination. She was not playing. Like, I respect and value people who value and make it happen. I hate people that make excuses.
Oh, yeah.
And I ain't going to say hate. I don't like it when people make excuses for not executing. I just don't make an excuse, man.
Right.
Just own up.
Yeah.
But I will say you can find me at Black People Eats. That's on Instagram and Facebook. That's on TikTok for however long we gonna have it because they probably gonna try to ban it.
Right.
And that's on YouTube as well. I have a website, blackpeopleeats.com. And I'm getting ready to change
Join the newsletter.
Join the newsletter. I send out text messages, stuff like that. I'm actually getting ready to start back emailing because I don't trust what's happening with social media right now. I think I have about almost 10,000 emails already. Okay. But I'm about to start. I haven't sent the email in over 2 years. What? I just sent my first one a week ago about Bahamas. Oh. And people responded. So it lets me know like I need to get back to it. Yeah. So
well, I'm going to sign up so I can start being
you could find me. You going to see Milwaukee on there.
Yeah. Shout out to Milwaukee.
But that's how you stay connected with me. And I'll be coming to a city near you next.
Well, we can't wait to have you back. There's so much more we have to offer here in Milwaukee. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today, and we will see you soon.
Thanks.
See y'all soon. Flavor Fix. Wave to the camera. Flavor Fix on WNOV 860, The Voice.
What's your flavor? That's all.
What's your flavor?
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.